What's going on, everybody? This is episode 2 of the House Hacks podcast. I am your host, Steve Matthews.
And I am your co-host, Keith Hicks.
We have a very special guest this week.
Yes, we do.
It is John Pawanda, a.k.a. Joe Po. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, everybody. How you doing out there in Podland?
All you people know him as Joe Po, his good friends. So that way now you know who he is.
Yeah.
So, Keith, topics. What's the topics today?
So basically, we're just going to interview Joe Po here first, and then we're going to ask him our 5 questions. You all know what the 5 questions is.
And were we just supposed to talk about bowling alleys, old and new, as well?
After we're done with Joe Po, we're going to discuss bowling alleys.
Cool, I like that topic.
Old and new.
So, Joe Po, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I just got back off of surgery, and then I'm ready to get itching and get back on the lanes.
The average 183 again?
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. I want to see you guys outbeat me in average this year coming up, because I'm going to be top of the league in all leagues.
Sure. So this was your second knee surgery.
This is my second knee
and
surgery.
this one was obviously the easier one of the two.
Yeah, the easier one of the two. I don't need to have my full bending like the other knee does.
That's good. That's good.
Nice.
So, when did you start bowling?
When did I start bowling? I started bowling back in 1982.
I was 3.
Holy crap. I was in 9th grade.
I was 3.
Just broke into high school.
Yeah, I was. I started bowling up at Miramar, up at the Miramar Jet Lanes and stuff like that, and just got sick or tired of going to the clubs and stuff like that. Needless to say, there was a bar at the bowling alley, but I stayed away from it, and I just took up the bowling and get me out of it.
So you didn't start bowling back home in Pennsylvania when you were young?
Well, I did throw a few balls, but not really. I was just throwing the ball down the lane just for fun.
Awesome. So your kid Nick, he's a good bowler too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a really good bowler. Okay,
he's a hack like us, though.
Yeah, but only at one bowling alley, not all the bowling alleys.
So, Joe Po, I think we're going to get this part out of the way, and then I'm going to ask you a question after this. I want to know what your stats are. How many 300s you have? How many 800s you have?
Well, currently I have approximately 71 300 games, and I got about 32 800 series.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's pretty damn
And just
good.
so everybody knows, Joe Po should be in the Hall of Fame right now. He just hasn't.
He will be.
paperwork
He'll get
in
there.
yet.
I got the paperwork at home. I sit right there and everything else, and it's like ready to go. It's in a bowling alley.
This year kind of interrupted a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true.
Very.
A lot of interruptions. So, anyways, and basically, one of the questions I want to ask you is, do you remember your very first 300?
Yes, I do. It was April 11th.
Why knows the date and everything, man?
1996. I was up at the Mira Mesa Lanes on lanes 17 and 18.
At 8:48 p.m.
Okay. It was my game number 2. I was actually bowling against a future Hall of Famer, if he hasn't got a Hall of Fame yet. His name was June Ison when I bowled my first 300 against.
What ball were you throwing?
I was throwing the Blue Hammer, 16
Blue
pound.
Hammer.
Wow.
The oldie but goodie.
Yeah, matter of fact, Lyle still has that ball. I gave it to a friend.
Does he really? Lyle still has that ball?
Yeah, he still got
my
it.
God, dude. We'll have to get Lyle one day on this show, too.
Oh, definitely.
That'd be a riot.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was, matter of fact, one of the guys that was bowling next to me says, Joe Po, he says, I could have videotaped your first ball and hit rewind and play for the next 11 shots. He goes, they were that identical.
So here's my question. When you first bowled your first league, what ball did you have?
Well, I had the Blue Hammer in my bag, and I was still throwing my strike ball for my spare ball. So, but I forget what other ball I had in the bag. I think it was the Cuda C.
Cuda C? I love that
wow.
ball, too. That was a good
I've
ball.
never thrown it.
Oh,
ever.
I still got one.
Dude, when trouble brews, he'll bust out that ball and just somehow just make anything work.
Now, is it a blue color? Or
No, it's a maroon.
It's like a
Maroon
burgundy
color,
kind of
okay,
looking
yeah.
color. It's a pearl.
It's pearl, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, so anyways, last week in our first, 2 weeks ago, in our first episode, me and Steve had come up with these 5 questions
Okay.
that we were going to give special guests every time. You know, I mean, they're going to change up as we go along.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to have the same boring questions every time. But these would be good questions for you, that's for sure. So, anyways, so you want to get started with that? You want to?
Yeah, I'll ask the first question here. I probably know half of them anyway. What is your favorite ball of all time and why?
Oh, well, I have to say my Blue Hammer was my favorite ball of all time, and because of the fact is I could use it on any kind of lane condition out there that they presented to me.
That ball was so versatile.
Yeah.
It was really versatile.
But now my favorite ball of all time is going to be my Code Red.
Yeah.
That is one awesome ball.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since I got it out of the box, it's been one hell of a ball.
Yep. Awesome.
Awesome ball. I've seen you bowl with it.
Yes, numerous times.
We have the pleasure of bowling
Yes.
Jopo.
Yes.
You have a pleasure of bowling against
And against him too. I've had the ass whooping against that with that Code Red.
Definitely. But we do bowl on 2 leagues
Yes.
together, so that's nice.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
When we ever get started again.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, okay. So, question 2: if it wasn't for bowling, what would you be doing?
That's an interesting question. If it wasn't for bowling, I might be standing on a corner. I don't know. I don't know. I was into shooting darts and pool also.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I'm a pretty good dart player.
I missed when we had my condo. I had a dart board and we played darts all the time.
I had some 21 gram unicorn hammer darts.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, they were good. They were graphite tips, graphite grips, and everything else, so they actually wouldn't slip out of your hands when you threw them.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool. Question 3: who was the biggest influence on your bowling career?
I have to say myself.
Oh, you ignorant piece of...
No, seriously, because I never, you know, as far as people try to teach me how to bowl and stuff like that, and it's like, you know what, I developed my own style of bowling,
Mhm.
all right? If you can ask Nick this question as far as, and he says, do never ever copy Joe bowling, because he's the only one that can throw the ball his way.
Yep.
That kind of style.
Yep.
So
I
trying to
agree.
imitate me on the lanes is kind of hard.
I agree. You definitely have your own thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
Most
I did have a one lady, Doris Cronkite. She was the manager up at Miramar Jet Lanes.
Jet Lanes.
Where I used to bowl most of my leagues at. And she had a little bit of an influence as far as getting started and get me into varsity bowling and stuff like that. And then I just progressed from there.
That's awesome. Very nice.
Nice. All right. Question 4: what is your greatest accomplishment in the sport?
My greatest accomplishment in the sport is actually, well, anytime you shoot 300 or 800 is one of your best accomplishments. But my best series ever was probably when I shot my 855 series a couple years ago with my Code Red.
Yeah.
And it was really awesome to shoot that because my sister was out from Pennsylvania and she watched me shoot my highest series ever. She wanted me to shoot a 300 that time, but I couldn't shoot. I shot 299. I left the damn 10 pin on that lane.
Always doing stuff in front of the family is the best too.
But
Yeah, definitely.
and then also being Bowler of the Year for San Diego Bowler of the Year is really a good
Mhm.
accomplishment.
Oh,
of
yeah.
that.
Nice.
So,
And how many All-Star appearances have you had?
7 All-Star pennants and 2 Bowler of the Years.
Not
Nice.
bad. Not
That's
bad.
awesome.
All right, question 5. I think this is the one I can answer because I was your doubles partner for this. But we'll see.
What, city tournament?
What was your worst performance in a tournament?
actually, that was one of them. But also, one of my worst is a couple years ago when we were bowling our All Stars.
Oh
I
yeah.
had an awesome second game where I only shot 114 pins. I only shot a 114 game, and still come back and.
Oh, the Masters.
The
The Masters.
The San Diego Masters tournament. Shot a 114 game and was able to come back and still finish second as far as qualifying, kicking all you guys' butts.
I still think
Wait a
city
minute,
tournament.
that was the one last year, right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, that's right.
Yeah, I still think it was city tournament though. That's just
City tournament. Yeah, Steve held me up on that night, that day. There, I was so mad at the lanes that day because I don't know what kind of shot.
dude. I threw. You know.
He was throwing some off the wall twist, right?
Yeah, it was a Brunswick twist.
Brunswick twist.
Fading it up 5.
Just set it up 5 more and just watch it just fade right in the hole. But it was him shooting at 299 that last game, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. So that was the 5 questions this week, and I think we'll get into the topic we were talking about.
Yeah, we will. But I wanted to ask Joe Poe.
Oh, 6 questions.
Six
Great.
questions.
Fantastic.
So what, as far, it's not really, I mean, it is a question, but not really. As far as who is someone that you love bowling with as an individual and as a team, who would be just through your history, not just recent?
Anytime I get to bowl with my son Nicholas, is when we bowl together, we bowl really good together because we have a good camaraderie between me and him.
Oh, yeah,
and we
absolutely.
kind of help each other out, and we figured let's shots out. But bowling with you guys, Pops, and you guys here,
Oh, yeah.
is an awesome team. I mean, we
I
can.
mean, you guys are my family, dude. I mean,
we were on our way back to taking over first place on the Warriors League, and we would have taken that.
I really think we would have too.
We would have won the second half of that league because we were coming back hard.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
So, and I have a lot of fun bowling with you guys
Oh, yeah.
on Tuesdays and Fridays. So,
Yes.
and then every time Steve bowls subs on Monday night, it's always an honor to kick his butt.
He always kicks my butt. That's what I still get handicap against him. He still kicks my butt. Jumbo, I get 5-6 against you. That doesn't mean anything.
Nice.
The first time he bowled against me in that league, it was funny because he asked me. He looked at me on bowling against me. And I'm like, "You're in my league now. This is my league. This ain't Friday night. This ain't Friday night. This is Monday night. I'm the king in this league."
Wasn't that the night where I beat you because my handicap went by 1 stick?
Yeah,
I
it was
think
the first game. He beat me by 1 or 2 pins, and then it was lights out. I was
Yep.
always
That was all Joe Poe after that.
Yes. Well, we will definitely have Joe Poe more than once, so we'll save.
Really? Do we have to?
Yeah, we have.
Oh,
we'll
my
save some of the
God.
questions, for
That'll be episode
future time.
135.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be an episode 135. But basically, our topic today is going to be about bowling alleys, past and present,
And what's
bowling
going on right
alleys.
now, yeah.
And it's just kind of interesting how the East Coast flourishes in bowling for the most part. I mean, hell, they're open right now.
Oh yeah, East Coast.
Yeah.
I could tell you some stories about the East Coast lanes.
And
Yeah.
then the West Coast, it just seemed to die off. In the
Well, it's
last
because
couple
there's too
years.
too much stuff to go on out here, man.
Yeah, it's not only that, but it's also the conditions of the lanes they have on there. They don't change the conditions of the lanes like we do out here in California
Yeah.
and stuff like that. We always put out different shots. It makes us more versatile.
Yeah.
On the lanes.
Plus, when you have the desert, beach, and mountains all within 45 minutes to there's a lot more stuff to do here in SoCal.
Yeah. So, Joe Poe, what bowling alleys come to mind when you first started bowling?
Let's see, Miramar lanes,
remember that.
MCRD lanes.
MCRD still exists.
Yeah, they do exist,
Yeah.
but it's only down to I think 6 or 8 lanes.
Yeah,
Used
I-
to be-
Really?
Yeah.
I think I saw 8 lanes
All right,
when I
and
was
then
researching it.
I had
Wow.
this is when I was bowling varsity for Miramar. It was we had Miramar we bowled at. We bowled at 36th Street Naval Station. We bowled at Point Loma. We bowled at Amphibious Base. We bowled
Amphibious.
at and we also bowled at MCRD, and then we also went up to Camp Pendleton too.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
cool.
and I mean, C&R and lane still exists, right?
Yeah,
And then
C&R
Admiral
yeah.
Robinson.
Yeah, that's
Bowling
CNR
Center.
Admiral Robinson Center, 40 lanes there.
Al Robinson's a really nice house.
Yeah.
They take care of that place a lot.
Don't
yeah,
bowl
they
on 1
do.
and 2 and 39 and 40. Those lanes are bad.
Now the C&R lanes, that's the one that's right next to the baseball fields and the softball fields and stuff
CNR lanes is
on the base, right?
CNR lanes is actually North Island.
Right, so you have to go on
That's
Coronado
yeah,
and
that's-
to the
yeah,
back.
and-
Okay,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's next to the softball field.
Yeah, it's right across the street from the new softball fields.
Oh, nice.
They have
Yeah.
they have a soccer field there, softball, and you also have a flag football.
Oh, there you go. That's cool. That's cool. So, what is your favorite bowling alley that you've ever been in?
Well, Miramar's is really good. Not Miramar. Kearney Mesa Bowl is one of my best lanes.
Yeah.
I walk in there, you see my name up all over the place, and people are like, well, who's the best
Again,
bowler?
what an ignorant piece of
He says,
crap.
he says, who's the best bowler in there? And a lot of them will point at me and says, that guy over there, and stuff like that.
And then pointing to Lyle. No, I'm just kidding.
Lyle used to bowl good up there. He doesn't bowl good as
I hope Lyle listens to this.
He will.
He used to own those lanes when he was actually a good left-hander.
Ooh.
When he sees
Shots
when he
fired.
Sees, the interview with Joe Pope
Yes.
as a special
But
guest,
the
and then, he'll definitely
the
listen.
last few years though and stuff like that for his is pretty much he's been averaging lower than I have up in that house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What about you,
and
man?
it's killing him.
What's your favorite bowling alley?
Honestly, my favorite bowling alley of all time when I really started getting into bowling was Valley Bowl.
Me too. That was mine
I
too.
mean-
I never had a pleasure bowling in the Valley.
Oh
Oh,
man,
Valley was nice. And the reason why Valley, I love Kearney, I love Parkway. The reason why Valley meant so much to me because that was my first job. I was customer service, and then after school when I was a teenager, I'd be done with my homework, and I would just go to Valley and hang out and bowl and play video games and come home around like 9:30 if I wasn't working. You know, and it was like a home.
yeah,
It really
no,
was.
It was. I enjoyed that house. I bowled Warriors there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Warriors
Yeah,
was
and
there.
I watched you bowl Warriors and my dad's team bowl Warriors.
and that's when Dennis Cartwright used to bowl there.
And see, I don't know
too.
Dennis Cartwright though.
yeah,
You
Dennis-
know him if you saw
Okay.
him. You know Dennis
Yeah,
Cartwright.
Yeah.
but I believe right now, I wish there was more bowling alleys out there so we could have a travel league and stuff.
Oh, I would love to have a travel league again.
Okay.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, travel leagues are always fun to bowl because you always run into different conditions and it actually improves your game.
Yeah.
You have to walk into a bowling center with your mindset on what the conditions are going to be like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the cool thing about so many different bowling alleys when we
Yeah.
had them because you each bowling alley had a different, like you said, you have to have a different.
Well,
mindset.
each bowling alley had its own personality.
Yeah. The thing that Valley didn't have going for them is that one, it was so close to Parkway, and then two,
It was so
they
close to
didn't.
El Cajon Bowl.
Yeah,
too.
and they didn't own the land that Parkway
Yeah.
does, and so and the reason why Valley left because the guy who bought it wanted to have a big old tile warehouse,
which
and the one that he originally was going to get wasn't going to be ready in time. So that's why he just decided, I'll buy Valley Bowl, I'll use that.
Yeah, I loved it when we had the city tournaments and they would choose the two different centers and everything else and stuff like that, and,
Yeah.
and it'd be over a 2 weekend period, and there were so many bowling alleys out there. Man, you had El Cajon Bowl, Parkway Bowl,
El Cajon
Valley
Bowl,
Bowl,
dude.
Plaza Bowl,
Plaza
you know,
Bowl. That's what I
um,
forgot about.
Town and
them.
Country.
Town and Country,
La Mesa
stuff like that.
Bowl.
La Mesa Bowl, before it became, and then you also had
Coleman College.
You also have but you
Yeah.
also have Sunset too.
Oh yeah, Sunset.
Okay,
I
that's
love
right.
Sunset,
Claremont
dude.
Bowl.
Claremont Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's actually where one of my places that actually my average kind of took off a little bit when I got to there.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, and see, I loved when I was working at Valley on Friday and Saturday nights because a lot of the time ABT would come in, and so you would see all the local hot shots come in and
Oh, yeah.
bowl and stuff like that. And I remember it was Sanford Carvajal would come in.
Sanford Call. I bowled against
Yeah,
Sanford.
Sanford would come in, and Gary Jacoby
Yeah, he's the
he would
Sanford.
come in.
Yeah, Sanford used to bowl for when he was in the service. He bowled for San Diego, or actually 32nd Street
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And we got to bowling and stuff like that. And he hated bowling against me.
I think Sanford just hated bowling. Period. To be honest with
I don't.
you.
He doesn't bowl no more.
No, he doesn't bowl anymore.
I know. I know. He's a teacher.
Yeah,
so.
but El Cajon Bowl I thought was really cool because to me it reminded me of like an old dungeon.
Yeah, yeah.
It was only 24 lanes, you know, and like you walk in and it was just like the essence of like the 60s.
One
You
of
know,
my,
and it
one of
never
my-
left.
One of my experiences is that El Cajon Bowl. I was down there with some friends of mine. We're getting ready to bowl city tournament, and I went in there and said, "Let's go throw some practice at El Cajon Bowl, down off of 2nd Street down there." And we're getting in there, and we started bowling. We're just throwing some practice balls down the lanes. And believe it or not, I said, "Okay, let's get serious." And I started off the front 9.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you see everybody standing behind me, wanting me to shoot a 300 game and stuff like that. And it's like, looking around, it's like, what the heck's going on here? And I haven't never shot a 300 before.
Yeah. Oh, nice, nice. But yeah, El Cajon Bowl that was just so. you walk in there, it was like just walking into one big smoke cloud.
It
you know?
was.
It really was.
And we used to bowl pot games there on
Oh.
Saturday nights, and Mike Langford worked there at the time.
I remember Mike Langford when he was
Mike
working there
Langford.
too.
Yes.
I've known Langford for years.
I've known that guy for over
I'm
30
still sorry
years.
for you on that one.
I know. And he had long hair down to his shoulders.
He did.
Yeah.
Skinny little kid.
Oh yeah, he was skinny. He was like olive oil skinny.
He
But,
was. Seeing
yeah.
him run around down there at El Cajon Bowl.
And see, Parkway's never changed. The only thing they
No.
changed was the carpeting and the settee area. Everything else has stayed the same.
Everything else is the same. And
Well, it's like Mirror Mason really hasn't changed.
No,
either.
Mirror Mason
yeah,
hasn't changed either.
no. And,
Yeah.
You know, Parkway was started in 1961. Very first year, Parkway.
Well, I remember when Boardwalk was a 2-screen movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember going there when I was like in daycare, like with the school and stuff. We saw a movie there, and all of a sudden it shut down. Like, why did they shoot down the movie theater? Oh, they're putting something called the Boardwalk. Oh, okay.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Something like Chuck E. Cheese.
And they still have the same. The front is. They
Yes.
haven't changed. They haven't remodeled or nothing.
Yeah.
Everything looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
They've just thrown paint on it through the years.
threw paint on it. I'll tell you this
That
though,
was pretty much
those
it.
bathrooms are still the same as when I was a junior bowler.
Yeah, they need to do some renovation on those. I'll tell you.
How about University Lanes? You ever bowl there?
University Lanes, where it used to be down on.
University and just before 54th Street.
Well, that's what we were talking about. What me and Pops were talking about the movie theater down. I never bowled there, but I did walk in there when I came out of the movie theater when I was watching a movie. And I walked over there, but I never really bowled there.
I vaguely remember bowling there one time when I was really, really little, and I had. Dad said I thrown my first ball was a 6-shooter. It had like a red triangle and a blue triangle. I remember vaguely just throwing a couple balls in that place. That place was huge.
It was gigantic. I loved it. We used to. My grandmother worked there her whole life, and the whole life of the bowling alley, and it was long. They had like 60 lanes, and then another 40 lanes on the other end. They had like 100 lanes in that place, easy.
But
You know?
I tell you what. One of my famous lanes I ever bowled with lanes was up at Vegas at Showboat.
Showboat was cool.
Yeah, we bowled Showboat for the military tournaments and stuff like that, and we got to bowl on the TV pair and everything else like that. But that was a huge bowling
Yeah,
center.
I remember Showboat when my dad and a few other friends bowled the World Team Challenge, and that place, it took up the whole house, and it was 2 squads.
Yeah.
And I remember being everyone's gopher for like bowling balls and drinks, and I was like 12, 13 years old.
You're talking about 70 lanes on one side, and then going down where lane 70, and then going upstairs
Yeah.
to the other 36 lanes.
That's
That's
the,
Town and Country.
no. We're talking Showboat in Vegas.
Showboat.
That's the time.
I
That's the
remember
time where they're bowling World Team Challenge, and I saw Earl Anthony run. Well, I'm sorry. He turned around, walked into a slot machine, and apologized to it. He was so drunk because I had to walk through to get something to the snack bar, and here's Earl Anthony holding an MGD. I was like, "Oh my God, that's Earl Anthony!" I was like, "You'll go up and shake his hand, say hi, how you doing?" I couldn't even do that. He was turned around, bumped into a slot machine. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll just continue walking.
Every year I see Randy Peterson up at the bowling center.
And I'd love to meet Randy Peterson, man.
He's always does the introductions during the military tournaments and stuff like that every January. So he's a really nice guy.
Since he's throwing that 8-pin with the with that red fire quantum, I never threw it again. I never threw that ball again when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
So I got the correct amount of lanes. It was 64.
64 lanes.
University Lanes.
Gotcha.
I was only off by 36. That's not bad.
So what was that bowling alley that's now the Scottish Rite Center? I heard that was like one of the nicest
used
bowling
to be
alleys
the
ever.
original Bolero Bowl.
Oh, Mission?
Original Bolero
Oh, it was
Bowl.
Mission Valley Bowl.
Mission
Mission
Valley.
Valley Bowl.
Yeah, but I don't recall that one.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Scottish Rite in Mission Valley, dude. I heard, because I remember a lot of people, including Pop, saying that was the nicest bowling alley in town.
Well, then you have, like I said, you have Aztec Bowl.
Oh, I forgot Aztec
Yeah,
Bowl.
I was looking
on
that up
30th,
today.
on 30th Street. That was
Aztec
that was right there
Bowl.
on 30th Street.
But now they have Aztecs Bowl in the college.
At San Diego
campus,
State.
SDSU.
yeah, but this year was the Aztec Bowl right there, and they
Yeah.
actually built
In North Park.
an apartment
Yeah.
complex right there.
That was an old
Yeah.
school lane house, too.
Frontier
only
Lanes,
Frontier.
There's 24
Pop's
lanes.
old stomping grounds.
Yep.
Frontier, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of bowling alleys that used to be out there, but now they're all shut down, and we only have like 4 or 5 to go to.
What was the one? There was 2 in Escondido that were like literally kitty corner.
Well, you had
North County Lanes.
no. Well, you had North County, but you also Palomar lanes.
Palomar. And
right.
wasn't there one like literally kitty cornered?
I
or like
remember
really
that.
close?
I don't remember that one.
Hmm.
I know I used to go bowl moonlight bowl in Palomar.
Where was
lanes.
Palomar located? About
It was actually right in almost close to the middle of town, but
Yeah.
it was right off of. I can't remember the street it was. 'Cause
Valley Center. It
Well,
wasn't Valley Center, something like that.
no, I can't remember. But like I said, you want to talk about moonlight bowling? They actually shut all the lights off in the bowling alley. You
Yeah.
can barely see your ball coming.
Yeah.
Pick it up. It's like
I miss moonlight bowling
Oh.
too, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was another story I could tell you about with moonlight bowling.
Oh, anyways, yeah. Another place that Pops is familiar with also is Golden Bowl
Golden Bowl. I don't
in
remember
Spring
Golden Bowl.
Valley off of Campo. I used to go moonlight bowling there every Saturday.
The only times I bowled moonlight was when I was working at Valley, and I got up early enough, and I bowled moonlight on Saturday. And then I got a little older, and I was able to drink a little bit, and Valley was gone. And I went up to Kearney and bowled it. And Mary ran gave out all the money and stuff like that, and the
Oh.
chips. Yeah, good old Mary. But they
Yeah.
don't do that. And I told Johnny too.
Well, they talked about bringing it back, but then it's like
I said just do it once a month. Just do it once a month.
They actually they lost money with that, but they actually put out some decent shots sometimes.
Yeah.
Some hard shots, dry lanes. If you ever wanted to bowl dry lanes, bowl freaking moonlight.
Bowl
bowl.
moonlight, yeah.
Yeah, it got Lemon Grove Bowl. When Lemon
The
Grove Bowl,
Grove. We called that the grave.
right? Actually, where it was before, remember how it used to be right there off of Broadway?
Yeah.
It used to be up on the
Yeah.
hill right there, but then they moved it over there where
Mhm.
where the Walmart and everything else is at
Where
right now.
College Grove was.
Yeah.
That was the Grove, and then it was Bolero down there also on Broadway,
Yeah.
Because that's where Lyle used to bowl.
That was where I shot my
Okay.
very first
Yeah.
300.
Lyle used to bowl there, and he
Really?
he
Yes.
owned that place down there.
Yeah, Lyle owned the Grove. I
He
remember
owned the
that.
Grove.
When
But,
I first turned adult and I was bowling kind of stuff with him, he was untouchable at the Grove.
well, he used to be
He
that
used to be
way.
untouchable, period.
He used to be untouchable at Kearney too.
Yeah.
But he keeps bragging about it. Okay.
Well, they had the unsuccessful Warriors move to the Grove.
I don't remember that.
Warriors had split up, and part of them went to the Grove, and then the rest of them went to Kearney Mesa. And it was unsuccessful.
know that.
One season at the Grove, and I don't even remember how many teams there were.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a junior. I was 16. That was my very first 300 was at the Grove.
Nice.
So in the original Danger Zone,
Well, my first 800 series was at Sea and Air Lanes
seeing air.
down on the base.
Wow.
I was my first 800 was 835 series.
Man, I completely forgot about the grave.
It was like wow. I was like throwing that 800 series, and everybody's like, "Man, you need to shoot 800." He said, "You blew 800 away shooting 835." And then Steve comes up and shoots that 858 at Kearney Mesa Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets his big plaque. He got his plaque before I got mine.
Well, there's a reason for that. I mean, come on now.
Well, here's one for you. How about Poway Bowl?
Poway Bowl is still there, but they're
Still
shutting
there?
down.
They're shutting down.
I heard.
they're shutting
Poway
down.
Fun Dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever go down there and bowl on Sundays during that. What do they call that? On Sunday mornings they had a thing.
Oh, the Breakfast Club kind
Right.
of deal.
Man, I'll tell you what, there was lanes. They didn't oil. They didn't oil
Yeah.
the lanes. They were dry as a bone. And next thing you know, it's like, and then if you're low man on your pair of lanes, everybody got a quarter from you and stuff
Yep.
like that. It's
Yeah.
like, wow. But Eddie Opel used to play.
He ran a bowl shop there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember bowling. The last time I bowled at Poway was, I think it was some kind of doubles tournament, and that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
I don't remember when I bowled there. It was a long time ago. I bowled city tournament there when they actually won a bid for city tournament,
Yeah, which
which
was
is rare.
odd.
Very odd.
How many lanes did they got left there? 24, I think.
Not many.
I want to say it was.
Very
It's only like
small.
20 or 24
Yeah,
lanes.
it wasn't very big. Max was 30, I think.
And they didn't have hardly anything for parking.
No, it was like a hardware store parking lot.
Yeah, it was hardly any parking at all down there, and it's like you're better off just carpooling down to that place.
No kidding.
or
No
take a
kidding.
bus.
How about Town and Country lanes?
Town and Country.
Town and country.
That was my very first adult 700 bowling with Pops in the All Star Travel League.
Nice. I actually like Town and Country.
Town and Country. That was a nice house. That was a nice center. They took care
And
of
they
that
had the
place.
theater right there in the same
Mhm.
same little mall
Yep.
that it was in.
Yep.
But I never really bowled. I don't think I
Now,
ever bowled.
I'm going to give you a little story here. So,
Good.
I love Joe Poe stories.
Joe Buck
so I
story.
went back East Coast, and I'm bowling. When I first started bowling, I actually took my bowling balls back with me to East Coast. This is back in 2005. Nicholas came in about a week later or so, right, or a few days after, because he was graduating high school from there, and I took my son up there with me, and so I took my bowling balls with me. So I'm bowling against my sister. My sister's a good bowler too, right? She was averaging like 2-something, right?
Oh, nice.
So, and we're bowling at Burke County Lanes in Reading, Pennsylvania, right? And that's a nice center. You're talking about if it's like you know how we went to South Point.
Yes.
It's just on the bowling center has
Yeah.
2 lanes on both sides.
Yeah.
That's the way they're set up down there too. So we're sitting there bowling, and it was my sister, right? And first game out the block, I shoot like 240 something. She goes 299 at me.
Oh.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That is awesome.
All right. And
That's rad.
And I got my son Nicholas. He's supposed to be behind me. He's like, yeah, kick his butt, kick his butt. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then my sister shoots like 780 at me, and I go 740. I'm like, she goes, Johnny. She goes, yeah. She goes, I ain't bowled like that all season long or so.
All season long.
I said, so I asked her, I said, so you wait till I come up to bowl and you bowl your best games against me? I said, just typical of everybody. You always bowl your best
That's
against
funny.
me. So
That's funny.
when you bowl against me on the bowling areas, you better bring your A game.
Absolutely. Now, the coolest, like, off the wall bowling alley I've ever seen. Did you bowl Nationals in Billings, Montana?
No, I did not.
Okay, so we're bowling Nationals in Billings, Montana, and they had the Bowler's Journal.
Yeah, you
at-
tell me
at
about
their house. This house was down like some country road for like miles. I swear thought I was gonna see Bigfoot out there or something. And so all of a sudden, and my dad's like, I'm just about to turn around. I don't know where this thing is. So just about when we thought we were gonna turn around, we see this bowling alley. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. There must have been same thing, kind of like Poway's parking lot. It maybe had like 15, 20 spots, you know. And so we pull up and we walk in. It was, I want to say maybe like 10 or 12 lanes. The bar was bigger than the bowling alley itself. The bar was absolutely humongous. It must have had 40 or 50 tables in this thing. So we're bowling Bowler's Journal, and I bowled 8 squads because I kept beating the number and I kept bowling for free after that. But it was the coolest center because everyone was friendly as hell. And like when I walked in to get a beer just when I was done bowling, the guy was like, "Oh, are you bowling right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, dude, it's on the house. Have a beer." I'm like, "Wow,
Nice.
this is cool." But
He's like,
it was so.
he's probably like, I'm not even 21.
It was like, dude, nah. No, I was. I think I was just 21. But I mean, this road, it was like Pepper Drive, but like no houses in like 10 miles. It was
Wow.
just ridiculously out in the boondocks.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Well-
Did you ever bowl in the Harry Grant Classic, Joko?
No, I never bowled
Never
that.
bowled that.
No.
I'm trying to find somebody that's
There-
bowled in that.
Here's another good story from back east though. It's like, so I'm back home on the same time on vacation time, and I go to the bowling center and they're closed. Well, they only open for league bowling. This is funny. They only open for league bowling, and they have one practice session and stuff like that. And then after the league bowling, they shut back down again. I'm like, wow,
Dang.
really?
They care about their league bowlers. They don't want anybody just
So
walking
it's
in.
like I'm like, I think what it was is they're just trying to save money because it was I grew up in a small town and we actually had 2 bowling centers in my town.
Oh, really?
In the area. So, but yeah, it was, and that's where I actually started bowling. At I just throw the ball down the lane. It was bowling for dollars and stuff like that. And, you know, but take a house ball, 16-pound house ball, throw it straight down the lanes.
That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. So I walked into the bowling center. There's nobody around the bowling center. I says, "Can I bowl a couple games?" He's like, Yeah, we'll let you bowl a couple games. I'm like, okay, thank you. And I bring my 6 bowling balls in there. And, so, and they're just looking at him like, I said, yeah, I'm a bowler. And
I'm a
like,
bowler. I'm just some,
Yeah.
I'm not just some hack.
That's awesome.
That's great. That's good.
Talk about house hacks.
Talk about house hacks.
Parkway Bowl and freaking you call me a house hack at
Oh,
Parkway
gosh.
Bowl. Oh my god,
Oh, good.
I about went ballistic on him.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh well.
That's awesome.
What do you got left there, kiddo?
Not much.
Is
I
it-
mean, Brunswick Premier Lanes.
Brunswick
Now
Premier-
Bolero.
You see,
in Chula
man,
Vista.
I had so many problems with that lanes. The approaches every
They're
single
huge.
time.
They look huge.
But I would stick. It didn't matter what I did. I
Yeah.
would stick on
Well,
those
see,
approaches the whole
From
time.
what I understand is though, at nighttime instead of keeping the air conditioning turned up,
Yeah.
just turn it up a little bit. They always shut it off.
So that's why I got tacky.
all the moisture that just sits on there.
Oh,
If you go there
gosh.
later in the day, it wasn't as bad as later in the day. On league nights and stuff like that, there's actually pretty decent lanes.
Yeah.
It's just early in the morning, like when we bowl city tournaments down there and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's always tacky, and it's like I refuse to bowl at Bolero lanes anymore, which was Brunswick Premier, because the fact is the seating area is really bad down
Yeah.
there and stuff like that. It's like sitting in a booth. Right, you can't really sit down. You got to put your bowling balls in the back, and it's like it's no fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
We bowled there. Only time I really have bowled there, I think I bowled city.
I bowled city
there
tournament
once.
there. Yeah.
Did you bowl Masters with us about 3 years ago?
No, my first time
That,
at
that
Masters
was
with
that
you.
was the toughest Masters shot. One of the toughest Masters shots I've ever.
That's
had
when John
ball.
Mayer won, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I finished second place in that
Yeah.
tournament, and he barely beat me only because he went Brooklyn to
So
get that.
John,
to get his
John knew what to do, man.
No, no. Nicholas texted and told him where to shoot at. That's the only reason why he beat me.
Good job, Nick. Way to go.
Yeah, it took 2 of those guys to beat me up. So.
2-on-1.
So, but yeah, I was literally tired that day. I was bowling 13 games that day. Was
That's
really
a lot.
tired. Yeah.
Wow,
That's a lot, man. That's a
a lot
lot.
of games.
So,
I mean, especially with the last couple of times you bowled Masters.
well, last couple times I bowled Masters, I actually did pretty well. Except this last one, I finished 4th or 5th. I wanted to finish a little higher, even though I led the tournament most of the way, just like I had a couple
Yeah.
Masters tournaments. You know, last 2 years in the senior Masters, I had shoot 300 in both senior Masters tournaments, and I led the tournament all the way through. And just to finish second and third is kind of frustrating. And I kind of talked to the managers or the people that actually run the tournament, see if they want to change it up like they used to have, where it's step ladder format. You know,
I've always loved the stapler
it
format.
doesn't make any sense to bowl 8 games or 6 games in Masters and then turn around and you have to bowl another 5 games instead of step ladder format, because it doesn't count much to qualify top seed. All you do is finish in the top 5.
It should be 8 games of qualifying, take the cut, do round match play, and then top 5 step ladder.
Yeah.
That's the way
But
it should be.
for senior bowlers, it's like, you know, even
Then do
then-
6, then do round robin or whatever
Well,
it is,
that's
then
a-
top 5 still.
But even then, it's still a lot of games for
Oh,
us to bowl. I mean, you're talking,
Oh, yeah.
you know, 14, 15 games.
That's a lot of bowling.
So,
Oh hell yeah!
Mentally
It's a lot of
draining
bowling.
on you too, not only physically.
but
Dead arm after the end
Right.
of that thing. It's like, oh gosh,
Right.
yeah, it was.
This guy.
man.
One of these days, he's gonna actually finish
I
it.
am gonna, I am gonna make it a point to do well in Masters
Throwing
next
some
year.
shade.
He always wants the ball and say prayer. I mean, then he doesn't follow my line
I
and
start
stuff like
off
that.
good though, you know, like the first time I bowled with you in Masters, I start off great.
Sure you
I'm in
do.
first place after 3,
Sure you do.
Yeah, but
and
then,
then I took a turd.
Yes.
yeah, well, that's what happens. It just fizzles out, man.
You got to adjust,
Hey,
son.
hey, as they say, you gotta have the stamina.
The stamina.
I have the stamina.
That's funny.
So my arm doesn't have the stamina.
Yeah.
Well, like I told everybody, I says, you know, people ask me and say, hey, I says, how you beat Jopo? Well, Jopo can be beat.
You spit in his
Right.
thumb hole. That's how you
Right.
beat him.
Well, we'll talk about your thumb hole with Pops, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can be beat, okay, but like I tell the guys, I says, you know, throughout the season and stuff like that, I says, I will lose my games, I'll lose some points and stuff like that, but in the long run, I'll come back and I'll be one of the top bowlers in the league.
Oh, of course.
And that's what I try to do. I just try to do the best time. Every time I go out there to throw a ball, I try to throw a strike every time.
Joe Po's going to come back as a cyborg. He's got
So-
two knees.
While you're at it though, I got to go back and talk to my doctor about my my left shoulder.
Oh,
So-
great.
So
Well, that's your left shoulder.
We don't give a crap about your
We
left
don't care
shoulder.
about your left shoulder.
well, that's a balance arm. That's one to keep my balance and some of that. But
Gosh,
yeah, so
that's funny. That's funny.
JoJo's used to be
I'll
big cyborg.
I'll be like the ballerina on the lanes, you know. I'll be like Kingpin down there.
I still never get over that movie Kingpin.
Oh, Kingpin.
Bill Murray.
That's another topic for another day.
Yeah, we'll definitely bring that up for another day. The hairdo though, it's
Oh,
great.
yeah. So, Joe Poe, we appreciate you coming on, man.
All right.
Thank you so much. It was awesome having you as our first guest on the House Hacks
Very
podcast.
first guest. Exactly.
So, I will be signing off, and always remember, keep your balls out of the gutter. Take care, guys. Later.
All right,
Later.
later.
Mom.